Welcome to my program Journey to Great Business. My name is Rajiv Jaiswal and I'm a business consultant. And I have put together this program called Journey to Great Business, which is going to have a series of videos which will talk about the things that you can do in your business to make your business a great business. So today I'm going to talk about something that is very important for all of us, and that is how to forecast our sales. So, what is forecasting? Sales forecasting, you estimate what is going to be your future revenue. What are you going to do in 1 year, 1 quarter, or 1 month? And how do we do it? We take our past sales figure, using the past sales figure, using the data that we have, using our information that we have, we plan what we can do in the next year, and we forecast our sales. Now, why do we forecast sales? We forecast sales because it helps us to plan our sales cycle. It helps us to plan what our promotions are going to be, what strategies we will use with the channel partners, किस तरह से हम उनकी सेल बढ़ा सकते हैं अपने चैनल पार्टनर्स की, अब उसके साथ हमारा अपनी सेल कैसे बढ़ेगी. What production will we need? Suppose we have more sale, what is the production capacity we will need? How are we going to plan the material? Where will we get the increased amount of material? Money, financial budgets. How much money do we need to make this increased sale? And obviously, when sale is going to increase, we will need more people. And so, how do we plan the people? कब हमें ये लोग चाहिए होंगे? जरूरी नहीं है कि सारे के सारे साल के शुरू में चाहिए हो, but we need to have them at the right time. Now, if you don't have a good sales forecast, it can really affect our bottom line, because when sales increases, it's possible that money may not be available, it's possible that production may not be able to take care, or we may not have the right type of people to increase our sales. So a good sales forecast is very important for business growth. Now, what are the benefits? Some benefits that you have is, once you have a sales forecast, you can make better decisions about what is going to happen in the future, because you have already thought through what are the likely problems that you can have. Now, many times companies have a very large sales pipeline. When I say large sales pipeline means बहुत सारी inquiries हैं जिनको हम follow up कर रहे हैं, and we don't know what is going to get converted when. But having a good sales forecast, it allows us to focus on the right things at the right time, thereby reducing our sales pipeline and having a higher rate of conversion in uh, our business. It also helps us to align our sales target with our revenue expectation. Ultimately, everything depends on the revenue that you generate. So, if you need more money, either you can borrow it, or you can also increase your sales and get your collections up, and have a good projection of what you're going to get when, so that you have the right revenue expectation. And many times we have to plan. Suppose we are planning to grow and we have not planned which territories to grow in, then at the time we have, if we have not forecast and we are trying to plan growth in certain territories, then what happens, each time we want to plan, we have to sit and do the planning, do the analysis. But if we already have a forecast, we know which territories are going to be the ones that we are going to target, and it helps us to reduce the time required for planning. And once we start doing this forecasting, and we do it many times, we do it several years, we do it several months, it helps us to understand what are the parameters that we are actually in our control, what are the parameters that we are forecasting correctly, so that over the period of time, over the next few months or years, your forecasting becomes more and more accurate, and you are able to grow your business in a much more efficient, much more profitable manner. So, what do you do to forecast sales? So, first thing that you have to do to forecast sale is look at your historical data. पिछले साल कितनी सेल हुई, कहाँ सेल हुई, कौन से प्रोडक्ट्स बिके, किस प्राइस से बिके, कहाँ पे हमें लॉसेस हुए, कहाँ कंपटीशन स्ट्रांग है, कहाँ कंपटीशन नहीं है, and what is our USP in everything. So we look at our historical data. In this, we add what are the changes that you're planning to do. Suppose you want to increase prices for some products, you want to have special prices for some products. what are the new type of customers you want to address, what is the business you can get from your existing customers by either increasing the sale of your product or by cross selling some other products to your customers. Plus, there are now so many new channels are coming up. There are online channels opening up. There are other channels opening up. What are the channels that you want to address? You may have some traditional channels जहाँ से आप regularly अभी बेच रहे हो, but कौन से नए चैनल ऐड कर सकते हो? क्या प्रोडक्ट्स बदलने वाले हैं? Plus, we also have to look at new markets. Now, for example, let's look at lot of online companies are coming in. They are selling the Amazon and Flipkart and Walmart. They're all selling online. But what do all these companies need? All these companies need is a very good warehouse, right? Now, suppose you are in an industry where you are able have to your one of your customers is that they need those warehouses, or they need automation in those warehouses, or they need equipment in those warehouses, or they need material handling system in those warehouses. Those are new markets for you. Can you address them? What are the things you need to do to address them, right? So all of these things we have to put together and add it to the historical data that we have. Plus, market क्या बदलेगा, कौन से changes आने वाले हैं, is government going to make some changes? Like if you see, several years ago government introduced the GST, and because when the GST got introduced, it changed many of our businesses, it affected our businesses. So what are those changes, what are those trends that are going to happen? We must also anticipate those. Plus, कंपेटिटर्स तो होते ही हैं मार्केट में, ये कंपेटिटर्स क्या करने वाले हैं, ये कंपेटिटर्स कौन से मार्केट्स में हैं, कौन से मार्केट्स में वीक हैं, कहाँ पे स्ट्रांग हैं, उनकी क्या प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, उन प्रोडक्ट्स के अगेंस्ट हमारे कौन से प्रोडक्ट बिक सकते हैं. सो वी ऐड ऑल ऑफ दिस इंफॉर्मेशन टू आवर historical data, and then we can have, for people who are selling products on an ongoing basis to their existing customers, this is one format that you can use, where you can look at the sale of the last 2 years. You can estimate what is the kind of growth or degrowth that you've had with every customer, and what is the thing, what do you feel that you can do with this customer? Can you get some growth, 5%, 10%, 20%? क्या ये ग्रोथ एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोडक्ट से आ सकती है, क्या ये ग्रोथ कोई नए प्रोडक्ट्स या जो क्रॉस सेल करके प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उससे आ सकती है? एंड you put a percentage growth for every customer. It could be different for every customer, and this you can discuss with your internal sales teams and people who are actually interfacing with these customers, so that they can give you these numbers, and they are more realistic numbers that you can put in this chart. And then you can add your new markets, your new products, all this extra business that you plan to get from these places, and add it all to total up, and to find out what is the likely increased sale, or the what is the forecasted sale for your product in this. But for businesses who do not have a lot of repeat customers, people who may have, after every customer has been fulfilled, they might want to, they will probably have to find new customers. For these kind of people, the best way is to find out how they can increase their leads. Now, in one of my videos I talked about leads and lead management. You can refer to that also. But point is key, they have to generate more leads, they have to focus on how they can generate more leads. Or again, these leads have to be in new markets, new channels, for new products, for everything they knew that they are doing, increase including for their existing products. So the process remains the same, except the way of approaching the forecast becomes a little different. Now you can look at whether you want to increase your leads from your existing clients. Your existing clients can tell you, there is so and so company who is also going to buy the same product. Why don't you approach them? You can have digital channels, you can have credibility building, and you can have many new ways to increase your leads. And then based on these leads, you can plan what is it that you can sell. Now there are a couple of methods, 3 or 4 methods, in which you can actually do the forecasting. They are bottom up, there's top down, there's year-on-year analysis, and there's a regression analysis. So let's look at the bottom up first. Now in the bottom up, here we start forecasting from the bottom. The front facing, the people who are actually interfacing with our clients, they start putting together what are the products and services that we can sell more. The top management can tell them that, look, these are some new products that we want to introduce. They can then look at the market, they can interface with their customers, they can talk to their customers and identify what is the increased business that they can do with those people. They can also suggest that, competition is going to increase its price, or there is an opportunity for us to increase the price here. And by putting all of this together from the bottom up and building it all the way to the top, you are able to estimate what kind of sale you can get. In between, the senior management of the company can also put in their thoughts on what are the new products they want to have, how are the new, let's say, government policies going to affect the business, how will it help them to grow. Are there some places where there, let's say, for example, there are places where the government gives a lot of excise benefit and a sales tax benefit for 10 years. If we are looking at expanding our factory, do we want to set up a factory in those areas? Those are the decisions which cannot be taken at the bottom but are taken at the top level. And all this information is put together and then create a forecast out of it. In the top down method, it's a little different. You look at the total available market for your product. So you look at what is going to be, what is uh, how much total business can be done for the product. This could be done by way of your own understanding of the market. It could be done by way of a market survey. It could be done by looking at the internet and looking at the industry growth over the last few years. There are many researches available, there are many studies available, and there are also many projections that are available online. So you analyze what is the total market available, and then say that, okay, out of, let's say, 100 rupee market that's available, I want to take 5%, 15%, 20%, whatever percentage you feel is the right percentage for you and your company. You arrive at that percentage, and then the total available market multiplied by your market share that you want gives you the projected forecast. Now, this work doesn't finish here. Once you've arrived at this number, you actually have to blow it up down into the company and look at different elements. So if you have arrived at a projected market share of 20%, in order to do 20%, how many salespeople will you need? What kind of manufacturing facility will you need? What kind of financial requirements you will have? All that analysis still has to be done here in order for you to be able to see that, yes, this percentage which I have decided of market share, I am going to be able to achieve it. And the resources that are needed for this, I can raise the resources and have them in place so that this market can be achieved. The third method is the year on year forecasting. In the year on year forecasting, we look at the past sales for several years, and we look at what has been our average, what has been the growth over the last few years, uh, based on our actual data. And then we arrive at what percentage growth we want. Now, this can be done at an overall level also, and it can be done on a blown up method on customizer also. So you take out all your customers and you look at what has been the past few years growth, and then estimate what is the growth that you want for each of your customers in this year, and then arrive at the total growth figure or a total sale figure that you can get. In addition to that, you also put in the new products, and then you see what is it that you can get as a growth and arrive at a total forecasted growth for yourself. Now, what are some of the most important things when you actually create a forecast? First of all, forecast is not made independently by each department of the company. Forecast is made collaboratively for the company as a whole by everybody together. And it is not based on just gut feel. It is also based to a large extent on the data. We start with internal data, we also look at some market data, and based on that, we arrive at how we can calculate the forecast for our company. Now, when I say single source multi-user views, means that, let's say, for example, sales. Now, if I am looking at sales with GST included, and somebody else in the company is looking at the same sale as sale minus GST, the two figures will be completely different. And therefore, the total forecasted figure can be completely different, even though they are both in a way similar figures. But so that's why we should always try and define how we are going to use the internal data, what is it going to include and what it is not going to include, so that everybody uses the same information. And I know that in the beginning it's not going to be possible. In the beginning, it may be difficult for you to arrive at all the information. But when you start using it, you might have some rough edges, you might have some difficulties. But over a period of time, as you fine tune, as you improve, this becomes much better and always gives you more benefits. So those companies that are doing the good forecasting, they always perform better because they know कि मुझे आगे बिजनेस में क्या कहाँ पर करना है and what is where is my effort going to be, where am I going to put the input, where am I going to put my money, which territories I'm going to grow, where am I going to take competition head on, where I'm going to leave competition out and I'm going to just you know not fight them head on. These companies always perform better because they can control the outcome. They know कि अच्छा हम यहाँ करेंगे तो हमें ये आएगा. Those companies who are not doing this, they always have more problems. They are slower to react. They are always reactive, and so forecasting is something that really helps companies. Now, what are the challenges that we have for forecasting? Now, like I said, there is inconsistency of data. Different people are seeing different data. Plus, sometimes everybody wants to stay within their own territory. They don't want to collaborate with each other. They feel that if I do the work, only I will do the work. So, collaboration, when it doesn't happen, and data, when it's looked at differently, it always creates a problem. प्लस इफ द इंफॉर्मेशन इज वेरी सब्जेक्टिव, अगर सब कुछ सब्जेक्टिव है, अगर मेरे पास कोई डेटा नहीं है उसको बैकअप करने के लिए, then it's going to be a problem. Yes, I know we can never get 100% data, but for the places where we don't have a data, we must make a written down assumption that I am assuming that this market in which I'm doing the analysis has these four competitors, and this is what they are doing. These are the promotions that they are doing, so that we have a fixed parameter, and the subjectivity which we are going to incorporate in that is bound by the assumption that we are making, right? So it becomes very less subjective, it becomes more information based. And sometimes we make the forecasting so complicated that many people are not able to understand it. So something that we should always try to make it simple. Now, so what is happening? Different departments are you know contributing to the forecast. The sales department will bring the data कि कहाँ पर क्या सेल हो रही है, किसके साथ कर सकते हैं, कौन से कस्टमर्स एग्जिस्टिंग हैं जो ग्रो कर सकते हैं, और कहाँ कहाँ पर नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं हमारे को ग्रो करने के लिए. मार्केटिंग वाले जो हैं वो प्रोडक्ट नॉलेज लेके आते हैं, मार्केट नॉलेज लेके आते हैं कि किस मार्केट में कौन से प्रोडक्ट्स अच्छा कर रहे हैं, कौन सी कंपेटिटर ज़्यादा हैं, कौन से कम है. प्रोडक्शन प्रोवाइड दिस इंफॉर्मेशन कि मैं आपको प्रोड्यूस करके कैसे दे सकता हूँ, मेरे क्या सेल्स मिक्स की कैपेसिटी है, मेरे पास कितनी प्रोडक्शन कैपेसिटी है, और अगर मुझे ये इंक्रीज फोरकास्ट को मीट करना है तो मैं किस तरह से अपनी प्रोडक्शन कैपेसिटी को बढ़ा करके आई विल मीट इट. Finance always helps us in product pricing, it helps us in budgets and in the money that we are going to get, because that's one of the more critical things. Now, budgets are also very important. We will talk about budgets separately. The IT department brings in the ability to analyze the data. So everybody is giving data, but the IT puts it all together and helps us to analyze the data and make sure that what we are talking about is correct. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope that I've been able to explain to you the way of forecasting. My program Journey to Great Business will continue with several other kinds of videos. If you like my program, you can subscribe to it, you can comment on it, and you can always press the bell icon so that when I put a new video, you can be notified. Thank you so much.